Kenyan police opened fire on demonstrators trying to storm Kenya's legislature on Tuesday, the 25th of June, with at least 5 protesters killed on the scene, dozens wounded, and sections of the parliament building set ablaze as lawmakers inside passed legislation to raise taxes. In chaotic scenes, protesters overwhelmed police and chased them away in an attempt to storm the parliament compound. Flames could be seen coming from inside. Kenyan President William Ruto on Wednesday withdrew the planned tax hikes, bowing to pressure from protesters who threatened more action later this week. Ruto announced he would not sign a finance bill including the tax increases, a day after clashes between police and protesters at the assembly and nationwide left at least 23 people dead and scores wounded, according to medics.
Didn't have a choice. He drew the bill because he knew that there's a revolution coming in this country. We were saying, if you pass the bill, you go home. So Bill, go home with the bill, right? So the reason why he had to withdraw the bill, because there's so much public pressure that he cannot pass that bill. He signs that bill, he signs his death warrant. The president thought, by unleashing force, he could quell the protest. Then he realized people were willing to die. People actually dying, and I've done some retreats actually. People who lost their loved ones last and said, we're going to go back to the streets. Because they're already dead, actually. They're dead men walking. You meet young kids who say, I can't date, I can't marry. A girl says, I can't even get a child because the economy is not viable for them to get a child. The president has been in office for about 2 years. There's been a lot of corruption scandals. No one has been fired. In the past 2 years, we've had a lot of people who were in court facing criminal charges for corruption and graft, being acquitted. In the past 2 years, we have seen people who should be in jail being appointed. So in the past 2 years, we haven't seen a single person.
The matter on how Ruto has taken the situation, this guy is very clever. Even though he has refused to sign the bill, definitely after 21 days, it will become a law, meaning we'll have to adopt unto it, and as the youth, we'll have nothing to do. Yeah, so what I will say to my fellow comrades, yeah, we are still going for this until we get what we want right.
Tuesday saw one of the most extreme protests in Kenya's recent history. Peaceful protests turned deadly after the police opened fire on demonstrators as they were protesting against recently proposed tax hikes and demanded the resignation of the country's president, William Ruto. Now, the new finance bill aims to raise an additional $2.7 billion in taxes as part of an effort to lighten Kenya's heavy debt load. If the bill is not implemented, the government will have to look for other ways to manage its finances. Nonetheless, the president has a tough choice to make, and it seems like he'll have to make one quickly.